Nature is simply nature. Does its own thing, sometimes doesn't work out that well, so much for natural selection. Although nature can make us feel all warm and fuzzy, the opposite can also happen. Sometimes nature can appear cruel and uncaring. Make sure to stay tuned right to the end to see a dog stuck inside a tree trunk. Petunia the peregrine falcon. The American Eagle Foundation has a remarkable peregrine falcon named Petunia. Petunia's spirit continues to soar even though she will never fly again. This is due to an injury in her wing. She now resides in a specially constructed aviary that allows for safe exploration and stimulation while also evoking feelings of the wild. Petunia is more than just a patient. She has a distinct character of her own. Her fervor for life is reflected in her unflinching vigilance and fierce individuality, just like that of a peregrine falcon, which is one of the fastest animals on Earth. She's a keen observer, her bright, perceptive eyes sparkling with genuine interest and gratitude. Petunia has also formed a remarkable bond with her human caregivers, despite being fundamentally wild. She coos soft greetings at their arrival because she recognizes them. This peregrine falcon has a unique relationship with humans despite not being a pet. Petunia may have lost her ability to fly, but her spirit soars higher than ever. She's a true inspiration, reminding us that even in the face of adversity, we can still find joy and purpose in life. Blobfish. How unfair was nature with this fish? The blobfish is often called the world's ugliest animal, but in reality it's Mother Nature's crowning achievement. A jovial jello of the sea. Every day is no bone day if you're a blobfish. With the density just below that of water, this gelatinous mass floats above the seafloor like a grouchy old man left in charge of a playground full of children. It's possible that the blobfish's appearance will induce laughter, its squishy face is permanently set in a frown. It's as if at any moment it will demand to speak to management or start griping about its tax bill. When a blobfish snapped a selfie once, it brought down the entire web. Why is that? Well, servers from all over the world crashed not because of its popularity, but because of its unique beauty. The blobfish may look like a scrap from Picasso's Cubist period, but it's actually a remarkable example of adaptive evolution, tailored to life in the deep sea. Don't laugh at the blobfish for how it looks, instead remember to enjoy its personality. What really matters is what's on the inside, in the ocean. Sloths and Juju. Meet Juju, an animal with a strong constitution and a knack for winning people over. Unfortunately, Juju's delicate claws on his back legs and left hand were completely burned after he tragically electrocuted himself on a power line. Not only that, but sloths are the slowest animals in the animal kingdom, unable to even escape wildfires. Fortunately, a group of caring veterinarians came to the rescue and a tragedy was averted that day. Giving Juju time to recuperate allowed him to gradually regain his strength. The veterinary staff's diligence and expertise in caring for his burns is inspiring. After making a significant comeback, Juju finally gave in to their loving overtures. Fortunately, Juju's recovery was aided by an unexpected friend, Seven, a fellow creature whose dogged attempts to befriend paid off. Over shared meals and lighthearted interactions, they forged a strong friendship. Juju and Seven are now the best of friends and rarely don't see one another. Even though Juju's injuries prevent him from going back into the wild, that hasn't dampened his enthusiasm for life. Fainting goats. It's with great pleasure and some amusement that I present to you the fainting goats. Myotonic goats have a muscle disorder that's passed down from generation to generation, making them faint when startled. Consider yourself a fainting goat grazing peacefully when suddenly a leaf rustles. You're not afraid and then wham! Falling over playing a game of goat dominoes, your legs straight in shock. A fainting goat really ups the ante on playing possum. With the addition of a few more goats, we have a furry interpretation of synchronized swimming performed entirely on dry land. These humorous collapses can be set off by the smallest provocation, such as a drop tat, a sneaky mouse, or a particularly loud bah from a friend. The goats are unharmed in these episodes. They fall for only a few seconds before getting back up and continuing their grazing as if nothing happened. These goats are here to tell us that it's okay to take a time out every once in a while from this crazy world we live in. But try not to dive headfirst into your meal. Ants are blind. Ants are proof that you don't need eyes to have extraordinary vision. They're tiny but mighty masterpieces of nature. Although ants are as blind as bats, it doesn't stop them from succeeding. Instead, it showcases their remarkable adaptability and propels them even further into the realm of wonder. Ants have a sophisticated social structure despite their inability to see. Each ant plays an essential role in the colony's survival as it navigates its complex underground city using scent cues called pheromones and antenna-touching handshakes. It's sort of like a miniature underground version of a crowded city at rush hour, minus the gridlock. You place an ant on the ground, it will immediately begin planning its route back to its colony. Some human societies may envy the level of organization displayed by a colony of blind ants, which can forage for food, construct bridges, and even wage war. So the next time you see a busy ant, take a moment to appreciate the mighty power of this tiny creature. Unless it's in your house, then get the bug spray, because that means there's more. Hummingbirds. Hummingbirds need to keep eating to survive. Small as they may be, hummingbirds shine as brilliant symbols of nature's potent adaptation and tenacity. Their wing beats are like lightning, their heartbeats are tiny but full of life, and their need for power is immense. Hummingbirds are constantly in the red in terms of energy, like miniaturized Formula One race car drivers who can't quite keep up with their energy demands. Hummingbirds can go through their energy supply of nectar and insects in a matter of hours. Something as simple as the rain can really dampen their spirits, and the hummingbird's light weight is an advantage until it gets caught in a thunderstorm. Their delicate bodies can get cold, and when their wings become wet and heavy, they can't fly near as fast. If a hummingbird stays inactive for too long during a rainy day, its energy levels will drop and it will starve. Hummingbirds, however, are undaunted by such obstacles, and they continue to gather nectar in spite of the rain. Their unyielding spirit in the face of nature's whims is as bold and bright as its hues that adorn them. Why do elephants have tusks? Majestic wilderness elephants are in grave danger of extinction due to a tragically human-made crisis: ivory poaching. These gentle giants stand for knowledge and power, but they're being slaughtered in large numbers to satisfy the deadly demand of the ivory trade market. If elephants didn't have ivory, their chances of survival would have been much higher in a world where this cruel pursuit didn't exist. The allure of ivory, which contributed to their demise, would be removed, taking away the perverse incentive that drives the brutal hunts. The loss of their ivory wouldn't lessen the value or ecological significance of elephants. Heck, it might even help them keep safe. These magnificent animals would be free to roam without interference from the demand for ivory and would add to the beauty of the places they visit with their intelligence and grace. Ironically, maybe for their own good, many elephants are now born without tusks. In this case, nature gave them something of value to capitalism, but is now decided to be taken away. Blood-shooting lizards. Here you can learn all about the North American horned lizards, the weird rock stars of the reptile world. Horny toads, also called horned toads, have become well known not for their horns, but for their striking and unusual method of self-defense. This consists of shooting blood from their eyes. Indeed, it is the case, and when threatened, horned lizards take their bizarre strategy for survival to the next level by raising their blood pressure to the point where blood literally explodes from the capillaries in their eyelids. Blood from this ocular auto-hemorrhaging can be shot as far as 5 feet. It's like a superpower, but with reptiles and a little more blood. Nature has a wicked sense of humor, that's for sure. Blood contains a chemical that is repulsive to predators, especially canine hunters like foxes and wolves. So this isn't just an impressive stunt. This function, which may sound like something out of a gothic horror film, is actually quite important. I'd be cautious the next time you try to shoo away a lizard. Could be a super-powered out-of-the-ordinary blood crusader. Babirusa pig. The babirusa is a type of wild pig that has a twisted set of teeth thanks to what Mother Nature has decided. These deer pigs, as the name translates, are native to the Indonesian archipelago, and they're well known for their peculiar antler-like tusks that protrude from their snout, giving them a prehistoric or even mythical appearance. Differentiating the babirusa from other elephant species is the way their upper canine teeth grow through the top of the snout and curve back towards the head instead of descending like normal tusks. These inside-out tusks may be used for show, but they're also dangerous. If the tusks aren't broken in, trouble's on the horizon. They can become so long and curved that they actually penetrate the skull, causing serious harm or even death. Features evolved to secure mates, assert dominance, and survive could ultimately be their undoing. A cruel irony of nature. Babirusa are strange creatures that show the contradictions inherent in evolution. Their showy tusks are both a draw and a risk, showcasing a remarkable if tragic natural anomaly. Pretty cruel, nature. Dog mummified in tree. A dog mummified inside a tree was discovered in the 1960s in the sleepy American town of Georgia. The dog was discovered by loggers inside a hollow chestnut oak tree, and they eventually gave it the nickname Stucky through a contest. The mummification of Stucky was an interestingly natural process. The daring canine likely chased a raccoon or squirrel up the tree's hollow trunk sometime around 1960. The unfortunate dog managed to get stuck and was unable to free itself. In the wild, trapped animals would eventually decompose or be devoured by other animals, but the peculiar conditions inside the hollow oak made that impossible. The tannic acid in the tree acted as a natural embalming agent, preserving the dog for posterity. The dog's body was desiccated and insects were kept at bay because the tree was hollow. The mummified dog and its wooden coffin were taken by loggers to the Southern Forest World Museum in Waycross, Georgia. Stucky's demeanor, which is calm and almost cheerful, seems to invite onlookers to join him on his untimely but immortalized adventure. See you all next time.